Hi, I'm Steve Barclay, and I've been in the assistive technology industry for over 34 years. I'm talking to you today because you showed some curiosity about a wearable video magnifier. You've probably heard names like eSight, Iris Vision, Idaptic, and others, and maybe you've seen their marketing, which promises all kinds of benefits for people with vision loss. But is the marketing true, and will one of these systems work for you or your loved ones? The answer is an unqualified maybe. In this video, I'm going to tell you how this technology works, who it tends to work well for, who it doesn't work well for, and give you some tips on how to move forward safely without getting ripped off. These types of devices use a combination of a camera and two very small screens that are presenting the same image to the wearer's eyes. The image is being processed live so that you can do image enhancement, high contrast, and on some products, use optical character recognition to read text to you, or artificial intelligence to ask questions about what you're looking at. Sometimes these features are built into the unit, and sometimes these features are loaded into a cell phone with an app. How the work gets done doesn't really matter. What matters is those two small screens and how they're positioned directly in front of the eye. The biggest group of people who contact us about these devices are people with macular degeneration. That's probably because it's the single biggest cause of vision loss later in life. Macular degeneration typically causes vision to deteriorate starting with the central vision and gradually working out. As that deterioration happens, you get less and less central vision until you're left with only some peripheral vision. When people are in the advanced stages of macular degeneration, this impairs their ability to see a screen that is presented directly in front of the eye, as with these virtual reality glass-based magnification systems. So despite all the marketing materials that manufacturers put out stating that this is a solution for macular degeneration, I've rarely found them to work well for that audience. I've had many people use our loan program to try head-worn aids and report that they put on the headset and they couldn't see anything. What works better for the macular degeneration crowd is a video magnifier with a large screen where they could put their peripheral vision to work. Now that said, if someone's in the early stages and they've gotten treatment to halt the progression, it quite possibly would work. But if I had macular degeneration and it was still progressing, I wouldn't consider this to be a good option because it might work to begin with, but over time it might let you down. There are a number of eye conditions that work in the opposite direction, causing more of a tunnel vision effect, such as diabetic retinopathy. This is where devices like this tend to perform really well because there's still central vision to see the screens. In cases like this, the device can actually act as a field expander, allowing someone to see more than they might normally. The only way you can be absolutely sure they work, though, is if you try them. And here's another point of caution. Without naming names, there are some companies with really slick marketing and who use high-pressure sales tactics. One such company sold hundreds of units of their product into Canada, even though their product was nearly double the price of competing units. They charged people to try the product, they used high-pressure closing tactics to get people to buy, and they had an exorbitant restocking fee if someone tried to return the product. I've been in a number of people's homes where the product was eventually abandoned and now sits on a shelf, and I hate seeing that. These are also the product I get contacted about over and over by people trying to sell theirs at hugely reduced prices. They sit on our gently used section of our web store completely ignored. So before you get hooked up with any company selling this sort of aid, you should ask these three questions. Do you have a free trial program? What's your return policy? And will you help me sell it if it no longer works for me? We have a free trial program for these. We let people try our head-worn aids for up to 2 weeks so that they can use them in their home, which is, of course, a very different environment than a sales office. We also pay shipping both ways for that loan. With us, once you buy, you have up to 30 days to decide if it's working well for you and giving you the value you want. If it's not, so long as you return it in resellable condition with all of its packaging, we'll give you a full refund. And if you use it for a long time and it's no longer helping you, we will list it on the gently used section of our website. You pick the price you want for it, and if someone is interested, we will connect them directly to you to work out a deal. This is also a free service we provide. Be very careful when considering these types of aids because there's some really slick marketing and very good salespeople out there making loud promises. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line at steve@canastech.com or phone me at 1-844-795-8324. If you're in the Vancouver area, you can also see these at our store at Unit 106, 828 West 8th Avenue, Vancouver.